Now the Patriots have the number 4 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. We're going to start breaking down prospects that can help the Patriots have a winning season next year on offense and on defense. So if you guys want more NFL Draft videos for the Patriots, well, welcome to the offseason, baby. Go on ahead and like this video, and let's get started with number 1. What's going on, Patriots fans? Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and now is the time to start breaking down 2025 NFL Draft prospects. So I'm going to break down round 1 specifically because we were possibly going to have the first pick in the draft, but thank you, Joe Milton and Gerard Mayo, for winning that ball game, and we dropped to number 4. We could have possibly traded away the number 1 pick for a lot of assets, possibly even players. But now that we have number 4, we may not be high up on the trade market. So now let's talk about what players can help us on offense or on defense. And just preface, I'm not putting these guys in any specific order. I'm just talking about the top picks that the Patriots could go with moving forward and what that would look like for the Patriots. And if we could possibly get a little bit of help on offense, well, then that is a win. But we can't talk about draft prospects without bringing up the number 1 draft prospect, and that is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is obviously a raw athlete. He is coming in to the NFL playing either cornerback or wide receiver, but he plays both right now at Colorado. And not only does he play both, he excels at both. You're looking at a true football IQ type of player. He will throw the playbook out of the window if he thinks that route is changing, if he needs to cover somebody else, if he needs to laterally switch and move to the other side of the field. He can adapt to different roles, what we've seen him do at Colorado the last 2 years. He's also paired very well with Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders. But with somebody like Travis Hunter, I'm not 110% sure if any NFL team is ever going to play him on both sides. I wouldn't. He's going to come into the NFL as either a DB or a wide receiver. I personally would rather have him as a DB on the Patriots because I think pairing him with Christian Gonzalez would be locked down. That would be a secondary like none other. Then you can really increase your run defense and boom, you've got a top 5 defense again. But the only kicker here with Travis Hunter is that I don't know if he's going to be available for us anymore. At number 4, there is still a pretty good chance just because the teams ahead of us, the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants, well, they're going to be quarterback needy. They're going to be offense needy. And while we are offense needy, I don't know if they're going to go with Travis Hunter, especially if he does end up being a DB. But if he does end up staying as a defensive back, this is why I think he would be unreal with Christian Gonzalez. 36 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 11 pass breakups. Guess what? Christian Gonzalez had 11 pass breakups this year. And with Christian Gonzalez, we didn't have 2 of them. So we can only guard Devontae Adams or Garrett Wilson. We can only guard Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. Now if you duplicate him, add on 4 interceptions, it would be lights out. But on offense, too, with Travis Hunter, 96 receptions for almost 1,300 yards. Heisman winner. Averages 13 yards a game, and he had 15 touchdowns this year. There is no denying Travis Hunter is going to do damage on either side of the football, depending on what he chooses moving into the offseason. But I have a question here. I know a lot of you guys are really going to want Travis Hunter. I'm still not 110% sold this is what the Patriots need right now. But we have a lot of new faces coming in the next couple of weeks in the front office, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Who do you want to draft in round 1? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Go on ahead. Let me know who do you want for the Patriots with that first pick in the first round of the NFL Draft. And then go on ahead, sit through this ad break, and we're going to be right back. I promise you guys are going to want to stick around for the other candidates that I do have to show you guys. Abdul Carter. It's no surprise here. The Patriots do need to invest just a little bit in their defense, considering it was not the best last season, coming off a top 10 defense the year before that. Obviously, adding an edge rusher like Abdul Carter should be on their list, but I don't know if it's at number 1. When you look at a guy like Abdul Carter, you're looking at an explosive edge. His run defense, though, is still a little bit shaky. If he is going to be on the Patriots, he's going to have to be more of a pass blocker. He's going to have to be more of a pass rusher. I think that is the type of scheme that he would thrive in terms of run defense. We're going to work on that. But the Patriots as a whole need to work on that too, so it's going to be in the foundation. But I do think pairing him with Keion White would definitely be a pretty interesting combo. Keon White obviously not having the most dominant season that we did want him to have this year. But Abdul Carter adding some fresh legs in there definitely can't hurt, especially a guy that has very quick hands, and he does know how to get off a block fairly well. Obviously, he'll need some adjustment once he does come into the NFL because it's just a whole different ball game at that level. But when you look at a guy like Abdul Carter, his stats speak for themselves. 11 sacks for Penn State. Penn State, obviously a very dominant college program this year. 3 pass breakups, 63 tackles. Well, 23 less of those were by himself. 40 solo tackles from Carter alone. I think he does improve your defense almost automatically. But it is in that same breath of, do the Patriots take a defensive guy with their first pick in the NFL draft? Because we do need help. Devon Godchaux, he had some injuries this year, and, we're working through that. Keon White being the defensive end. Not the strongest season we saw from Keon White, but he did recently disclose that I don't think he and DeMarcus Covington were on the same page. Even if you do end up pairing him with a Keon White, but you also know that with Abdul, he played linebacker and then transitioned to edge at Penn State this last year. So if they do decide to pull him back and still play in that 3-4 front, he could be dominant with a guy like Jelani Tavai, even though I know Patriots fans aren't too happy with Jelani right now. Christian Ellis, a player that I thought really grew a lot this year. He could find a lot of strengths either playing on that 3-4 front for New England, but it goes back to, is this a guy you want to take in the first round, the number 4 pick? There's a lot of players you could possibly go out and grab, and I would probably grab before I do end up picking an edge rusher, but it just depends on what the Patriots do have moving into the NFL season. So I have a question here for you guys, and that is, which side of the ball should the Patriots draft? Type O for offense, type D for defense. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to go O for offense. I think it's just pitiful what we do on a daily basis, and I want to see the offense get better. But I also want you guys to see your favorite teams play live, or maybe your favorite artists. All you guys have to do is use Game Time for your tickets to any event that does require a ticket upon entry. The reason why I use Game Time is because it is the lowest price guaranteed, and Game Time Picks makes it super easy to get tickets for myself, for my boyfriend, for my family. I think these make great gifts. Quality time, you can never put a price on quality time. But if you're going to, use Game Time. It's the lowest price guaranteed. But with Game Time Picks, it makes getting tickets to your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. It's not just Patriots game, guys. You can go on ahead and watch the Boston Celtics play all winter long. You can watch the Red Sox play when they come into town in April. The Boston Bruins are playing at TD Garden as well, and it's all over America. And the feature is the same for everything. If you guys want to go see your teams play or your artists play, well, the number one feature I do love is the fact that you can see your view from your seat in the app before you buy. A nice little panoramic 180 view to make sure you're not sitting too close to the men's room or sitting behind a pole. And the total you guys see at checkout, that is the total you will pay. There are no surprise fees. Everything is upfront, so you know exactly what you're getting with Game Time. If you guys want to get started, just download the Game Time app. Use promo code ChatSports. This will get you $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. Again, use promo code ChatSports. This will get you $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. What time is it? It is game time. Let's talk about my man, Will Campbell, the offensive lineman from LSU. When you're looking at the first round of the NFL draft, there's really 2 offensive linemen that stick out to me and I think would be good options for the Patriots. Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks Jr., who I will talk about at the end of this video. Stick around for him. When you're talking about Will Campbell, you are talking about a hard worker. He is a fantastic locker room guy. And from the interviews that I have seen, it really feels like Will Campbell is a lot like David Andrews in the sense that they hold themselves the same way. They have that same job, being an offensive lineman, and they understand, look, my job here is to protect the quarterback. Those are my favorite type of offensive linemen. They're the gentle giants that never getting recognition, and Will Campbell's getting recognition because he is one of the best coming out of college. The toughness that he provides, the upper body strength, as well as the wide base that he's able to provide and laterally move on the interior offensive line, that pairs with his impressive footwork. I am all for having a guy that is quick for shuffling, That is my number one thing when it comes to offensive linemen is if I can shuffle faster than you, I don't want you protecting me, even though I'm not a quarterback. And his hand placement. That has been noted to be a strength and a weakness of Will Campbell right now just because he tends to a little bit too high, a little bit holding on too long. But with Campbell, a guy that could work possibly with David Andrews, I think would be a really good compliment. The reason why I say possibly is because we don't know if David Andrews will retire at the end of the season or not. But the latest social that did came out here from Mark Daniels does believe me to believe that he will be back and he would be good to go for this next season. I can't end up finding the tweet, but basically David Andrews wants to play through 2027, and that is what you should know, is that David Andrews is going to continue to work night in and night out. You pair him with a guy like Will Campbell, it could really improve your offense. I found the tweet, by the way. David Andrews said his surgery went well, and I want to play football. So hopefully we don't see any retirement posts anytime soon for a guy like David Andrews, because that would be huge to pair him with a rookie. That does remind me a lot of his playing style. And I also love this quote, and I think you guys should too. One thing we live by in the offensive lineman room, a D lineman gets 1 sack a game, and that's the only thing he can do for 12 games. He'll be a top 5 pick. You give up 1 sack a game for 12 games, you're going to work at Amazon. Nothing wrong with that, but whenever we're here, this is what I'm striving for. I love that coming from a guy like Will Campbell. I think he's just showing, look, I have one job, and that's to protect my quarterback. I have one job, and that is to do that job. And that just seems like a very humble guy to me that I want in my locker room. I want this guy playing for the Patriots. So, if you guys do too, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. Let me go ahead and tell you guys about my other favorite top draft prospect here. And I'm going to be honest, this might ruffle some feathers moving forward in the NFL draft, but I want Tetairoa McMillan for the number 4 pick in the NFL draft. I want him over Travis Hunter. I want him over every wide receiver in the NFL. I think he is absolutely perfect for Drake May. When you're looking at Tetairoa McMillan, who has played against Travis Hunter and definitely had a very impressive game against him, but, it's a work in progress. Tetairoa McMillan has a phenomenal catch radius. The way that he climbs the ladder is unlike any college football player I am watching currently. He has a ton of body control. He is performing OBJ catches when necessary, not just for show. But he also, when you run out in the flats, Drake May's top target is Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry being the tallest pass catcher that he does have on the Patriots right now. You cannot teach 6'5", and I will stand by that with a guy like Tetairoa McMillan. The skill set that he has just from his natural athletic ability is what Drake May and the Patriots should be searching for. To have a 6'5" target for a sometimes inaccurate Drake May is a recipe for success. We know that Drake May has a very powerful arm. So does Joe Milton if we need a backup quarterback. But they do tend to overhit their mark a few times, and God love Pop Douglas, but I don't love his height. I love Tetairoa McMillan's height. I love the routes that he ran against Travis Hunter. I love the routes that he ran all season long. I think he's a top wide receiver in this draft. I think the Patriots could get an absolute steal and also maybe make up for taking Jalen Polk in last year's draft. I'm going to be honest. That wasn't what we thought it was going to be, but you can immediately make it up to your fans by taking a guy like Tetairoa. Why? 84 catches for 1,300 yards. 15 yards per catch. 8 touchdowns this season. I think that picture right there alone says enough for me. Guess who's guarding him? Travis Hunter. That's why I want Tetairoa McMillan. He's going to impress going up against top cornerbacks in the NFL. And if you're not going to go with Tetairoa McMillan, I have always been a fan of this lineman right here, Kelvin Banks Jr. Keep in mind he did suffer a lower body injury this season for Texas. But when you're looking at a guy like Kelvin Banks, definitely just a little bit more of a project, in my opinion, than Will Campbell is. But with Kelvin, you're going to get a right tackle. And Lord knows we need a right tackle. For Darian Lowe, you should not be a Patriot. But when I'm looking at Kelvin Banks, I do notice that he has really good use of his hands with pass protection specifically. What does Drake May do best? Pass. And run occasionally. But mainly pass. And I think that our pass protection is dog shit. Kelvin Banks, being a wide-body left tackle, is immediately going to advance Drake May's blind side. And Drake May, who has proven to be more of a mobile quarterback than we originally thought he was going to be, even when his blind side isn't 110% protected, he's got that peripheral vision that he is very good at scrambling and getting out of the pocket. But why not keep him in the pocket more than 2.8 seconds? Give him more protection. There is one thing that has been noted about Kelvin Banks is that he explodes off of the snap. But he does struggle holding on to the block. That is something to keep in mind. But he is a good big body, and I think Kelvin Banks is going to be a starter his first year in the the NFL, but it could be a little bit before we do end up seeing him as a Pro Bowl of some sort. Overall, his PFF grades are through the roof. 85, that's phenomenal. 88, almost a 90 on pass block. Oh, that is what I want to see. That is why Kelvin Banks has my attention and will have my attention all the way up to the NFL draft. So my last question that I'm going to ask you guys here real quick is go on ahead and do one thing for me. Do you not want an NFL draft bust? Like this video to not jinx it. I don't want another Jalen Polk. I don't want another Javon Baker. Knock on wood. Go on ahead and like this video. And as always, hit that sub button for me if you guys haven't already. All off season long, I've got you covered right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports.